Issue 48, Stormbringer magazine. The Boingrot Bounders bouncing into battle. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're going to be doing issue 48 of our continuing series of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine by Hachette Collection. Now this issue comes with 5 Boingrot Bounders, which are basically mounted Gloomspite Gits on Squig cavalry. Very fun, very interesting little minis, and we'll check those out in a moment. But before that, we'll have a look at the lore that comes in the magazine, and of course there's a big fixture here on Alarielle the Everqueen. So she would be the kind of the leader and the god of the Sylvaneth. She's the mother goddess of life, and she grew the Sylvaneth from soul pods saved from the world that was. So she, like Sigmar, is trying to bring back the old world in her own little way and kind of bring back the power of nature and goodness and life. Power radiates from her bearing, an aura of life energy that cleanses and restores the land as she passes over it. And when she's faced with opposition, she directs her wrath towards those who would thwart her mission of renewal. You have here some of the factions she fought. So you have the Ancient Conflict, in which she fought against Khorne and Chaos. She has some natural allies with the Forces of Order and Sigmar, because they're trying to bring some order to the realm. I'm sure that they have their moments where they don't get on, but Sigmar and the cities of Sigmar tend to be a little bit better for nature than bad for nature, given that some of the Chaos entities, such as Nurgle, would have the power of rot. And she's also, of course, a natural enemy to Nagash, given that she's the wellspring of life, and Nagash is kind of there for death and despair and destruction. You have part 2 of Nature's Gambit, which is a story about the Sylvaneth. And you have here the lore and stats for the Boingrot Bouncers. So you have the boss traits, again, that you roll for here, and the different unit traits and character traits. You have the how to build guide. Now, there's a nice bit of variability with it, so you have a lot of interchangeable pieces. So you can shake up the models a little bit. So as you can see here, it gives you 5 specific bases, and it's up to you what way you put the faces, what way you put the mounts on, what way you kind of put the weapons on, with one exception, of course, which is the Bounder boss himself, who's built in a specific way. But really cool little minis and really fun, mad looking things. They're nearly as much fun as the Loon Smasher Fanatics in terms that they're barely hanging on. There's a lot of little painted guides here, and you have the War Scroll for the Boingrot Bouncers, and you have a tutorial on how to use them, and the battle plan, of course, is Realm Scout, write them down, which gives you, again, Forces of Order and Destruction, and a way to kind of play a brand new scenario. So let's have a look at the Boingrot Bounders. So really fun little minis, and very reminiscent of the Loon Smasher lads in terms of like that they're barely hanging on. I mean, again, there's a lot of fun to it. Like, this guy isn't even seated, he's just hanging on with one hand, and he's literally up in the air above the actual squig. Now, these guys don't have saddles or anything like that, so it's just in the strength of one arm that they're hanging on for dear life. And the squigs themselves have lots of different character, because you'd have some that have teeth with kind of little additions, some that have scars, some that are just kind of full of little warts, all sorts of mad little things. And you have here himself. He's like kind of a knight of old with his lance and riding into battle. So that'll be just one of them. This guy is another, and as you can see, this is a squig with one eye with missing teeth, things like that. So he's a bit of a veteran, and again, he's just barely hanging on with his legs sprawled across, and he's just holding on with one hand, boinging into battle. You have another fella here who isn't even pretending to hold on or straddle the thing anymore. He is literally, he's literally seated behind him, and as you can see, they use tactical stalagmites to kind of bounce off all these things. But again, another squig tearing into battle with multiple eyes this time, And the other thing as well is that it comes with a lot of different helmets, so they're not uniform in their getup, or certainly not uniform either in their lances. So the Boingrod Bounders will go to battle with literally anything. You have another one here again another squig with a little bit of variation. What I like about this one is, I don't know if you can see it or not, unfortunately I can't zoom in anymore, but there's actually a hand in his mouth that you can paint, so that this squig didn't like his previous rider and decided to kind of eat him. So I don't know if the guy who's adoring him now knows what he's in for. But again, another Boingrod Bounder flying into battle with a hastily made lance. No idea what happened to the previous rider, and the squig himself probably looking forward to dessert after he's finished digesting the dinner that's in his mouth right now. And you have, of course, here the actual boss himself. So the squig, of course, has a little bit more armor, teeth absolutely everywhere. And the guy himself has an especially huge hat with a nice kind of nose and chin that the squig copies, and of course he's a mushroom as well on top of the actual lance, no doubt to symbolize his authority. But again, these were very fun little minis to make, and what's cool about them is that there is a touch of variability to them. So you can change up the faces, you can change up the bodies of the riders, and you can change up the patterns of the minis. So even if you get 2 or 3 sprues, you probably get 2 or 3 different variations, so you could have a lot of unique, cool looking little riders. But a really fun issue, and one I'd thoroughly recommend for you to keep an eye out for. So as always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and until next time, good luck, God bless, and join us for issue 49.